Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Angel Bautista Mendoza. Mendoza was shot and killed on Friday, August 31st, 2007, in the 2000 block of West Pico Boulevard in the Pico Union district of LA, according to LA County coroner records. Santos Martinez and Francisco Gutierrez were subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. On the evening of August 31st, 2007, sometime between 10 and 11 p.m., Abden and the victim were waiting outside Best Buy Market on Pico Boulevard, while Abden's father, Jorge, was inside buying beer. While they were waiting, a Latino man with tattoos on his neck and wearing a black baseball cap approached. He asked the victim, "Where you from?" The victim replied, "Drifters." The man threw a punch at him. The victim returned the blow, and the two men fought. Abden denied any involvement in gangs or the fight, but testified that the victim was associated with the Drifters. When the victim appeared to be getting the better of his opponent, another man got out of the driver's side of a nearby dark-colored vehicle. The second man wore black clothing and a black ski mask and was holding a shotgun. Abden asserted that both car doors were open at the time, but he couldn't tell whether there were any other people in the car. The second man approached the victim within about 9 feet of him and then fired the shotgun. Abden turned and ran into the store. A Best Buy market employee testified that she was working at one of the registers near the entrance of the market when she heard 2 or 3 gunshots, looked outside, saw a kind of van parked right in front of the store, and heard a young man scream that someone had been killed. After calling police, she went outside, where she saw the headless victim and a lot of blood on the ground. She also saw a black SUV leaving at a high rate of speed. Later that night, Abden and Jorge spoke with Officer Tony Rodriguez of the LAPD. Abden described seeing an SUV approach and stop in the driveway of the market. He said that the man who fought the victim got out of the driver's side, whereas the shooter got out of the passenger side. Jorge told Officer Rodriguez he saw his son run into the market and heard 2 gunshots. Jorge then ran outside, where he saw a man wearing dark clothing and a ski mask firing a shotgun from the area of the black SUV. The man with the shotgun then got into the SUV, which sped off at a high rate of speed. Officers investigating the area found a blue Ford Explorer SUV that had crashed into a wall in an alley near the Best Buy market. They found no one inside but observed that the keys were in the ignition and the airbags had deployed. A more thorough search of the car revealed, among other things, a cell phone in the center console, 2 black baseball caps on the front passenger floorboard, and a social security card in the name of Pedro Bonilla in the dashboard compartment. Blood was found on the airbags, most of it on the driver's side, as well as on the cracked rearview mirror recovered from the door sill, the driver's door, the back seat, the front passenger floorboard, the exterior of the left rear passenger door, and the right rear armrest. LAPD officer George Diego, an officer on the scene after the shooting, recognized the Ford Explorer from a traffic stop he had conducted earlier that month in the area of 15th Street and either Mariposa or Kenmore Avenues, inside territory of the Playboys. Defendant Martinez, a member of that gang, was driving the SUV at the time of the stop. Defendant Martinez gave his name as Pedro Bonilla and produced a California driver's license in that name. Officer Diego still had a copy of the ticket he gave Martinez, and he passed the information to another officer. Investigators found 2 spent Schoenbeck shotgun shells near the victim's body. A part of a shotgun shell and slug fragments were also found near the body. The medical examiner, Dr. Juan Carrillo, recovered shotgun fragments and a wad from inside the victim's body when he performed the autopsy. Dr. Carrillo testified the victim died from multiple shotgun wounds. He was struck 3 separate times, one in the upper right back, one in the left lower back, and a third in the head. The shooter was within 3 or 4 feet when he inflicted one of the back wounds, and very close when he inflicted the head wound. The shotgun barrel touched or nearly touched the victim's head when the shotgun was fired. Each of the back wounds would have been fatal, and it was apparent to Dr. Carrillo that the head wound was the last to be inflicted. Dr. Carrillo inferred from the direction of the scattering of the victim's brain matter that his head was supported by the ground. Thus, the victim was already incapacitated by the back wounds and laying on the ground. 1 month after the shooting, a shotgun was found by residents in their garage on Magnolia Avenue, about a quarter mile from the Best Buy market. They called the police, and LAPD officer Ann Michelle Green and her partner collected the gun. When Officer Green examined the shotgun, she found a spent 12-gauge Schoenbeck shell inside. DNA was extracted from the headbands of the 2 baseball caps and the blood found in the SUV. as well as from the recovered shotgun. Defendant Martinez's DNA matched that found in one of the caps, and defendant Gutierrez's DNA matched that found on the other cap. DNA extracted from the blood found in the airbags, the rear window sill, and the broken rearview mirror matched defendant Martinez's DNA. The DNA extracted from the blood in the back seat matched defendant Gutierrez's DNA. Defendant Martinez proved difficult to locate and was finally taken into custody on April 30th, 2009. He was charged with an unrelated crime and interviewed by Detective Gilbert Alonso, the investigating officer in this case. Defendant Martinez told Detective Alonso that he had been aware that the police were looking for him since the day after his car had been stolen. Defendant Martinez claimed he was near Pico Boulevard and Fedora Street when members of a different gang pulled up in a white van, got out armed with bats, beat him, and took his car. Defendant Martinez admitted he never reported the car theft or the beating. Detective Alonso placed Defendant Martinez in a jail cell equipped with a recording device. Excerpts of the recorded conversation were played for the jury. Defendant Martinez told the cellmate that he knew he was fighting a murder case and that police had obtained his DNA in his car when he crashed it and bled. LAPD officer Shane Boa testified as the prosecution's gang expert. He was regularly assigned to monitor gangs and had training and experience in the culture of Hispanic gangs, especially the Playboys. Officer Boa described the Playboys' territory, which changed occasionally but remained centered near Pico Boulevard, Fedora Street, and Normandy Avenue. Officer Boa was acquainted with defendant Martinez prior to the shooting. He was also familiar with his tattoos, as photographs of them were posted at the station bulletin board during 2008. Defendant Martinez's tattoos included a face wearing a fedora on the back of his head with 2 guns and the word "fuck LAPD," a Playboy bunny symbol on his arm, and the letters PBS, meaning Playboys, between the bunny ears. In Officer Boa's opinion, on August 31st, 2007, defendant Martinez was an active member of the Playboys gang and belonged to the Dukes clique. Officer Boa was also well acquainted with defendant Gutierrez. In Officer Boa's opinion, defendant Gutierrez was also an active Playboys gang member at the time of the shooting and a member of the Chicos Locos clique. The hub of the Drifters' territory was the neighborhood surrounding Pico Boulevard and Magnolia Avenue. This neighborhood shared some middle and high schools with the Playboys' territory. At the time of the shooting, the Playboys and the Drifters were involved in an ongoing struggle for control of the schools, resulting in fights designed to make students want to join the stronger gang and afraid to join the weaker gang. In August of 2007, the Playboys gang was dominating the Drifters. Playboys' territory was vast compared to the Drifters' territory, and Drifters were victims about 5 times more often than Playboys. Defendant Gutierrez and Martinez were tried together. Following the trial, the jury found them both guilty of murder and defendant Gutierrez guilty of possession of a firearm by a felon, and found true the gun and gang allegations. On September 6, 2013, the court sentenced defendant Gutierrez to a total term of 80 years to life. On December 18, 2013, the court sentenced defendant Martinez to 50 years to life. Angel Bautista Mendoza was 20 years old at the time of death.